Hi, I'm Brandon Gray. I'm a Toronto photographer. I work for Fulcrum Media, which is a publications company in Toronto, and I manage the imagery around 6 different magazines. Well, my path into photography is a little bit unconventional. I didn't pursue photography right out of high school. I actually went to science school. So I studied forensic science for 4 years, and while I was at school, I continued to pursue photography, but sort of at a hobby level. But basically, I went to science school. I got this unexpected bursary in first year of university, and rather than put it towards sort of what it was intended for, like school, I decided to blow it on my first SLR, which in hindsight ended up to be probably a pretty good decision. I think that I was pretty lucky when I was starting photography. I had a lot of friends who were musicians, and a lot of friends who just really liked being in photos, and a few of my friends were even interested in photography themselves. To have sort of a network of friends who are also interested in photography and videography, and to be willing, for friends to be willing to be your subjects and to kind of put themselves in front of your camera, I think that was really helpful for me when I was starting out. Because I mean, one of the hardest parts of photography and video is finding the right subjects, finding good models, and finding people who are good on camera and fun to work with. And luckily, I had that in my friends, so I didn't have to look too far. And I think that took away a lot of the stresses and complications when you're first studying photography. So I pretty much right away when I got my camera, my goal was to take pictures of people. So I started taking pictures of friends and at concerts, and then it kind of spiraled from there. So I continued to study science. I finished my undergrad in science, and then I went to grad school for science. I wouldn't say it was like an underlying love, but I had a competing interests in science and photography. And yeah, I kept up with both of them. Photography wasn't something that I was going to devote too much time to. I hadn't really thought about taking classes because it was going to be a hobby. Photography is something that takes a lot of time and practice. So when I was starting, rather than take classes on it, I actually put more of my effort into practical experience. So I tried to get out as much as possible to shoot. I basically went to as many concerts and shows as I could. I contacted promoters all the time, trying to get more gigs to shoot. I get hired to go to concerts and just take pictures, which is incredible. I haven't had to pay for a concert in like 3 years. I think it's been awesome. I've worked with some of my favorite musicians. I've shot Alexis on Fire 10 times, and I shoot lights every year. Every new friend I made, I took their picture. I love taking pictures of people. Those are really the most interesting subjects for me. Landscapes and products, it's something that I do out of necessity, but I feel like my heart definitely lies with taking pictures of people. I like making people look good. I like making people feel good about themselves. I like seeing people happy with how they look in a picture, because it's not very often that people feel that way. When I finished school, I started applying to scientific jobs, healthcare jobs, and then I was also applying to become a photographer. So I found a job as an art buyer in Toronto. We have 6 magazines, and I'm in charge of all of the photography for the magazines. So I organize, coordinate, and direct photo shoots across the country. Because I work for 6 magazines and I have such a high volume of photo shoots, I can't shoot them all myself. So a big portion of my job is finding other photographers and hiring other photographers across the country to do my work for me. Like anything else, like any other job, it's stressful and it gets really busy, but at the same time it's rewarding. I have a physical copy of a magazine at the end of every month that I can see my work, I can critique myself, I can show friends and show family, and it's something to be really proud of. I think the magazine industry is somewhere where I'll be for a while, even 10 years down the road, because there's endless possibilities. You must be